Hello, and welcome from MSSC. Today, we'll use our template editor to create a 2D barcode in the GS1 DataMatrix format. Our barcode will include the following fields. We start with the global trade item number, GTIN, as the first field. For the second field, we'll use a linked database to populate a serial number. This ensures that the information updates for each new print, which also updates the 2D DataMatrix barcode. For the third field, we'll add a use by or expiry date. Finally, for the fourth field, we'll include the batch or lot number, which can contain between 1 and 20 characters. Let's get started. First, click the pencil and ruler icon in the ribbon to open the objects list. From there, select the barcode icon. Once selected, click anywhere inside your template to place the barcode and open the barcode pop-up menu. In the pop-up menu, set the source to database. Next, search for data in the barcode type search bar. Locate and select Data Matrix, then click Next to proceed. This will open the customization window for your barcode. To begin, remove the default date/time item from the barcode. Highlight it in the destination list and click the left pointing arrow to remove it. Now, we'll load the database in CSV format to populate the serial numbers. Click Load Database, select CSV as the database type, and ensure the Use First Row as Headers option is enabled. This makes it easy to identify database fields in the source list. Next, choose where your database is stored either locally or on a USB drive plugged into the controller. Please be sure you have inserted the USB drive into the second port on the controller. Navigate by selecting Storage. Use the three dots to browse for your file, select it, then navigate to your CSV database file on the USB drive. In our example, it is listed as the D drive. I will open the drive by clicking the folder icon. Now, I am able to browse and find my database. Once I locate my file, I simply highlight it and hit the check mark on the right of the file to proceed. Once the database file name appears, click Next to proceed. When the Load Database window opens, review the snapshot of your data to confirm its accuracy, then click OK. For this example, we'll start by adding the GTIN, Global Trade Item Number, a unique identifier for trade items. Highlight AI in the source list and use the right pointing arrow to move it to the destination list. Once added, highlight it in the destination list and use the drop-down menu to assign its function. For this example, select 01 GTIN. Remember, this option requires 14 digits, including the checksum digit, which was generated using an external tool. This tool generates the check character when we input our initial 13 characters. For our external tool, we'll use a web browser to navigate to the gs1.org website. Here, we'll input our 13 known characters, and the website will calculate the 14th unknown character for us. Please pause this video now and take note of the full website address. This is essential for completing the text associated with the GTIN AI. Once we have the complete 14-character GTIN, we'll enter it into the text component associated with our GTIN. Notice that the AI is red. This indicates that the necessary AI component for this type of AI has not been satisfied. To resolve this, we will first add a text field. Highlight text in the source list, then use the right pointing arrow to move it to the destination list. With the text field highlighted, click inside the text box. Here, we'll enter the full 14-digit GTIN number that we generated using the tool on the gs1.org website. Now let's add another AI component and define it as 21 serial. Earlier in this video, when we selected first row headers during the database import, two items were added to our source list, P/N, which represents the part number, and S/N, which represents the serial number. For this AI, we'll instruct it to use the serial numbers from our database. Highlight S/N in the source list and move it to the destination list using the right pointing arrow. Once added, this AI component now meets its requirements and is no longer red. Let's keep going by adding another AI component from the source list to destination list and then define the AI component as 17, use by or expiry date. After that, we will add the text that is associated with the AI component from the source list to destination list. Then click the text window and add 300101, which will be interpreted as January 1st, 2030 by the AI component. Next, we'll add the final AI component. To do this, repeat the steps you've learned, highlight the AI in the source list, then move it to the destination using the right pointing arrow. Define this AI as TANI batch/lot from the drop-down menu. Afterward, add the supporting text from the source to the destination in the same way. Once the text is added, select this component and click the text window to edit the batch/lot text. Make sure the text contains 1 to 20 characters to meet the AI's requirements. Click the check mark to confirm your input, then click OK to place the DataMatrix barcode into the layout. Resize the barcode as needed to fit your layout, and then we'll proceed to adjust the parameters associated with it. Next, let's define the data matrix as a GS1 in the code format drop-down menu. After that, click the GS1 tab and activate the human-readable text. Then, under the General tab, adjust the font size to scale the text and meet your template's size constraints. One final item I'd like to call attention to is the appearance of \F in the DataMatrix barcode under the Database tab. Specifically, we'll focus on the content window associated with the barcode. You may notice that the text includes \F, which you didn't personally add. This \F is automatically added by the software to represent the FNC1 character. FNC1, or function code 1, is a special character required in GS1 barcodes. It acts as a signal to barcode scanners that the data follows the GS1 standard, ensuring that application identifiers and other structured data are interpreted correctly. This character is essential for compliance and should not be removed. Now that the text fits within our 1-inch template, we can run a simulation to verify that the DataMatrix barcode updates correctly, confirming the setup. Please notice the changes in the barcode, human-readable data, and the print count. After creating and running the template, I used a barcode scanner application on my phone to confirm that the data matched the label. As you can see in this screen capture from my phone, the barcode was recognized as a GS1 DataMatrix, and the data was parsed correctly to match our desired fields: GTIN, serial number, expiration date, and batch/lot number. That's it. We hope you found this tutorial helpful, and as always, happy printing from MSSC.